Now we're live. Hey, don't be giving out our Facebook password. So we've been locked out of Facebook again. I'm back, looking better than ever.
You are.
Yeah, I'm looking much better this week.
You know, Arizona, obviously, very good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did the show without me last week.
It was a wonderful show. In fact, we've been recommended for awards. That was John G's.
Awards in production.
Yeah.
And the Bock the Dowdle goes to
Right.
Beau Bock Sports. Hans Heiserer, Jin G on production.
Yeah.
4 years running.
It's unbelievable. We're racking up these Emmys. Holy jeez.
Very innovative.
Yeah.
And these are the things that your run-of-the-mill programs aren't coming up with.
Hey, all kinds of craziest things going on, huh?
Tell me all about it.
Maybe the first of which is that the Braves are not there, not playing tonight against
Can't do the chop.
Washington.
We rescinded the
But
chop.
wait a minute.
I know how to push his
Nothing,
buttons. It's like I have a gift.
Nothing could infuriate me more than that. I mean, that is such liberal bullshit.
How about Terrence Moore taking
God,
a picture an hour and a half before the game started, posting it 20 minutes before the game starts and says, a lot of empty seats here in Atlanta. It seems like nobody still cares about this team. And then the time on the picture was on there that it was an hour and 21 minutes before he says it was taken. So if that doesn't show you his agenda.
Yeah, right. No, unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, my God.
I mean, the crap he wrote with the AJC was just disturbing. It was just horrible. The stuff he did about Terrell Owens and not Terrell Owens, but quarterback of Florida State.
Charlie Ward?
Charlie Ward. The stuff he did about what Charlie was, coming out and the drafting and all that, it was such made up nonsense that it was disgusting.
Man, Charlie Ward, what a badass.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, man. Those guys are gone. I miss those guys, like the two sport guys. I mean, I guess you got Kyler Murray, but it's baseball. It's not really front and center like a basketball player would be.
But,
dude, this has been hard. This has really been hard. I felt good about where we were at with the series and giving away games 1 and 4, and then we saw what happened on Thursday. It's just a real tough way, man. Think about the offseason those guys are going to have, man. That's going to be tough.
Well, you know what? Folty won't be with us next year.
Man, you don't have any depth at pitching, though, Bo.
I know, but
I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, because I think he's done here. I think.
But think about the game before that he pitched. A lot of people are saying he shouldn't have pitched, but think about what he was coming off of. Of course he's the guy.
He had to pitch. And the other thing is, he should have been out in the first inning.
Man, McCann dropped that damn ball. You can't.
No. Wait.
Folty's got to have everything just right, and that's a tough start.
Oh,
for him.
I know, and that's another thing. It's another reason you should have pulled him because he scrambled eggs. Right. When we were down 2-0, he had the bases loaded. There was only one out, and
it's not like Fried had it.
Huh?
It's not like Fried did anything. They clubbed him too.
What are we going to just advance my story? Do you have the ending?
Sorry, I'm trying to do this show in 30 minutes.
Why don't you throw the ending in, too? Will you save me some time? But
as you were saying.
So we were down 2-0. A bingle would have, the game would have been lost.
Right, especially with that guy pitching.
That's what I mean. And Snit should have come in. He had Fried, was warm. He should have pulled it. It was inevitable. It was as obvious as the nose on your face. This was not good. He was not going to be effective. The game was about to be blown open.
This guy, I saw on Twitter, he was just just another guy. He had the exact same take that I had. I feel like if McCann catches that ball, the entire game is a different story. Because Folty is that easy to take off his game. He missed with the next 4 pitches. And I think there was a foul ball in there. So whatever. Next 3 pitches, walks the guy. And, everybody's busting Freeman's balls on that double play. That's not an easy play. I mean, the ball took a bad bounce off of him. And then the series as a whole, I'm not making all these excuses because surely we should have done some things right. But the Cardinals, with their bloop hits and stealing bases and moving runners over. That's what you got to do. Right. And we refuse to do it, and we freaking get what we deserve.
We can't do it. The organization can't do it. The organization
Cockhead!
has to... All right, come on, Ian.
Tip!
Come on, kid. Is that microphone on up there?
Kid!
David.
Hey, cocksucker.
Yeah, peck ahead. Yeah.
It's like and Freddie Gonzalez is the same guy. We went from Bobby to Bobby to Bobby.
Right.
It's been the same shit since 1989.
I know.
30 years.
I know.
And he was here before that.
He was here from 77, 81.
No! My whole life has been Bobby.
Let me tell you, I was at every game. Every game.
Come on, Bobo. Come on, Bobo.
And at the end of that, that in '82, just before when Joe was coming in, I had to go in a hyperbaric chamber, all constantly, just to revive my cells. I'm watching
You were way
Bobby
ahead of
for
your
4
time.
years. God, I was in a hyperbaric chamber this week.
You know what? When I
Great
came in
stuff.
here,
Bill Schindler up there in where is he? Where was I? Oh, Buford.
just don't end up on his list.
Buford. See, that was so simple and so stupid and so obvious that I would never do that.
I know you wouldn't. That's
would
why
never.
I'm here, to keep you on your toes. But no, you do. You look good since you got your chamber. A little bit like George Harrison.
Thank you. I was grooming in there. So
Manscaping?
yeah, manscaping, just overall grooming.
Did they use power
So-
tools on you? Have you ever seen where his chest there, when he hadn't trimmed in one, it shoots up out of the...
Well, it enveloped my face. It looks like I'm coming out of a bush.
But it just sucks. It was a horrible week. It really did
It
ruin.
was. But anyway, we were talking about the tomahawk chop thing. How stupid. How stupid. You know what I want to ban? Is all those jerky-ass fans waving a hanky over their head. What the hell is it? You know what that is? That's an insult to handkerchief makers all over the world,
Sure is.
including France. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, waving. Hanky. What the hell is that? You got something that means something. You got something that is part of our culture. You've got something that evolved here.
Look, I was just...
And you've got the reason that we did it was because of Deion Sanders. He brought it in here. And, you had a legitimate carrier, a disciple of the chop, if you will,
Yeah.
come in here and augment our polite clapping with a freaking chop.
Look at this. This was in Arizona. I asked him if he was a Braves fan.
Yeah. Was that before Freeman hit? What was that?
This was the day of the game we won.
Oh, well.
All I did was ask him if he was a Braves fan.
That's all it takes.
And so he wasn't offended. No, and in reality, honest to God, I spoke to a guy out there whose family was Native American. I was at the bar watching Game 4. And he was sitting there. He was an employee of the place we were staying. And we got to talking. And I said, who's your favorite team? He's like, the Braves. Honest to God. I said, oh, are you from Atlanta? He's like, no, I'm from El Paso. He's like, I just always grew up a Braves fan. And so there you have it. This young man.
No, they don't. Native Americans don't take exception to that. Normal Native Americans revel in it.
I would think so.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's for. It's not to put you down. It's to kind of lift you up.
Some people really are offended by that aren't Native American.
Well, that's because
They're like, you deserve what you get with that racist chant.
Because they have nothing to live for. They have nothing to live for except to chastise everybody who's got a different lifestyle than they have.
So what is this club going to look like next year? You said no Fulte. What about Donaldson? I mean, McCann retires.
We're gonna re-sign Donaldson. We're gonna sign Donaldson.
Well, why did we pinch hit for McCann in the 9th if we knew that he was retiring?
Why didn't we?
Why did we?
I don't know, but who
Flowers.
We hit Flowers. I didn't like that either.
I mean, I would be aware if Brian McCann came up for it in his last at bat and somebody started recognizing it and he stepped out of the batter's box, then at that time everybody would recognize it. His teammates would recognize the moment, and it would have saved a little bit what was an otherwise shitty day. And I'm sure those people spent a lot of money for those tickets, and to have a moment like that would have been nice.
a moment like that, meaning, announce to the crowd that this is his final at bat.
Tip of the cap. This is
Oh,
it.
stop that.
What are you talking
Come on,
about?
you're in a must-win game.
Come on, Cat. You're down 13-1.
You're in a must-win game,
You gonna put
and
in
now all of a
Flowers?
sudden you're tipping caps and marching around the base. Come on.
So Flowers is going to hit a 12-run homer?
No.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Because you don't desecrate the game by pulling some guy.
Desecrate the game. The guy played 15 years in
You
the
don't
league.
do
He's
it.
from here.
I
He won a World
understand.
Series.
What do
He
you
came back
want
to
me to
retire
do?
break. If
You know,
anybody
I-
deserves a moment, he deserves a moment.
Brian, meet me at Chops. I'll buy you lunch. All right, forgive me. Come on.
Just be there when the bill comes, just in case.
In fact, I was kind of hoping you'd reach for it.
It's like, hey, Bo, I can't let you pay for this. Please, I'm a million.
All right,
Okay, all right. Let me
all
get.
right.
Can I get something
This
to go?
one time, but next time you got to promise. Next time's on me, Brian.
Sound like you've done this before. That sounds pretty. But no, is Donaldson back? They've got apparently. What about Markakis?
I hope so.
Tehran.
I hope so. Tehran.
I think Markakis will be back.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, you talk about a great. That's what made us so potent this year. All of our guys could hit. There was not one bad at bat.
Yeah, but I mean, his second half of the year, he really struggled. And that's the second
all right.
half of the year he's had a bad second half, man. He can't hold up.
Oh, come on.
Let's keep him for
You know what? We'll get him a
hyperbaric chamber.
We'll get him a hyperbaric chamber.
Some low T nation.
We'll send him a protein smoothie before every game. Come on. You don't lose it like that. All right. Stamina goes slowly. You're an idiot.
I'm so glad to be back. I missed you guys. June G is going to an open house on Sunday, huh?
Yes, he is.
What time is it? Can I see your little folder here?
That was.
Well, that's the least we can do for Jessica.
Yeah.
So
Some woman knocked on the door.
a listing agent, a realtor.
A realtor.
Yeah, Jessica Courtney. Never trust a woman with two first names.
No. That the first thing you learn that.
Right. What if your name was Scott Benjamin?
No. Come on.
Come on, nobody. So
Who could take you from?
oh, so the guy. So she's
having an open house.
Yeah, she's
and she comes in here and she says to John G, of all people,
right.
you're very handsome.
Right.
I didn't know whether to say, come on, let's go in the kitchen, give these two a moment.
Right, I was going to give him a moment, but I think upstairs is currently unavailable right now. I don't know what the plan was, but I said, are you going to go to this open house? And he says, of course he is. He's actually interested in the property.
Well, yeah, you know what? He's a young man on the move.
So it's with the Morse Take Group, Jessica Courtney, working under Thomas Crone, and of course Keller Williams Signature Partners, and they're going to be hosting that here in. I'm not giving away your home address, Bo. I'll never.
Keller Williams is who you just left?
Yeah.
Because anyone could come there and say, I know Heine.
They're pretty big. They've got.
I thought you were big in the organization. I didn't know.
No. They've got, in our brokerage alone, they had 365 agents. And then they had 3 other brokerages. So you're talking about over 1,500 agents out of the one office.
What happens when somebody builds a home, you assign an agent? 365 agents, who's selling what? What's left to sell?
No, think about it, Bo. You got 6.5, almost 7 million people in this town. A lot of people coming and going.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy Payne, for that.
What, for making Atlanta big?
Yeah.
I think it was just a matter of time.
He didn't make Atlanta big. He made Atlanta overgrown. Hold that up so they can see that. Hold it up so they can see that.
Give it to us.
Hand
They have
that
to
over.
know what we're dealing with.
Hand that over, because people don't understand. This is what This is what a producer. It's like we're boring you by not talking about Oscar De La Veya's batting average.
We got Robert Alford, in the Arizona
Robert
Cardinals and
Alford.
the Falcons, this week. Do you know I haven't
Isn't it
watched their
amazing?
last 2 games? Hadn't even watched them.
Really?
Period. I'm out and about. I'm doing stuff.
Isn't it
Care less.
amazing? I never would have thought this. Falcons are invisible.
Who cares? Honestly, I got NBA.
Yeah, when the owner doesn't care, you're right. Why should anyone care when he doesn't care?
I don't know about all that, but
Oh, what do you mean you don't know about it? Is Dan Quinn still coaching the team?
come on, Ted. Yeah.
So now it doesn't care.
Well, here's the deal. Here's my take on that. No, here's my take on that. So they didn't come home this week. They didn't come back to Atlanta. They stayed on the road, and so. Had they come home this week, I think they would have fired him. But now that he's out in Arizona, I think if they win this game, he can keep his job for a little while. But if he loses this one, he will certainly be fired.
What do you think? Arthur doesn't want to make a long distance call? I mean, is
he doesn't want to do it while they're out. He doesn't want to do it while they're out. And Arizona's a bad spot for him because it's mostly landlocked. He can't get the yacht there. There's hardly any water in Arizona.
Arthur usually finds a way to get where he wants to go. You know what I mean?
It's a nice time of year to be in Arizona. I just came back from there, and if I would have known...
What's temperature like out there?
Well, in Scottsdale and Glendale, where the game's
different. It's a different temperature, different heat.
Still hot. But the one thing about it, that when you get in the shade, it's fine. Mm-hmm. So it's probably like 95 out there right now.
I did a preseason Cardinals game. Mm-hmm. Falcons Cards.
God, we used to play them in the preseason. We had to go way out there for a preseason game.
This was no. You know what this was? This was a regular season game, and the broadcast booth was on top of the press box, all the way up. No air conditioning, no anything, and an aluminum roof.
Now, where did they used to play? I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
They didn't play in Sun Devil Stadium.
We were soaked. Like suits. Tie, your tie was soaked. Right. Your tie was dripping. It was so miserable only because you were so wet.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I had that the first year when I did ACC stuff because your first college football games are sometimes late August, early September, noon kickoff in Athens. I mean, it's freaking brutal, and they used to make us wear suits. So midway, finally the second year, they went to golf shirts. Thank God they went to golf shirts because. The idea, I think, from the producers is that they want it to look professional on TV, but nothing looks more unprofessional than somebody just standing there like someone dumped a bucket of water over.
I know, yeah.
Well, you're right about Kelsey Wingert's outfits. You totally called that.
And you know what? It's a shame.
It is a shame.
It's a shame because that hair and those outfits take away. She's very knowledgeable. She's very good. She's very smooth. She's one of the best, but you can't. She's in disguise all the time. I don't know what she's trying to be. I don't know what she'll be for Halloween. Certainly not Goldilocks, because she's that every day of the year.
Goldilocks. Oh man. So what about the Falcons? I mean, this is what is there to even talk about?
It's criminal. It's criminal.
How about Shanahan and the 49ers? If it's not obvious...
How about watching them the other night? They would knock our ding-dong in the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're a physical... The 49ers are more physical than us.
Yeah.
I think I wrote that earlier in the week. I'd never in my lifetime would I ever think that the 49ers, the pansy,
Bill Walsh, mother trucker,
panty waist,
that freaking Bill Walsh,
Walsh, finesse,
Seaford,
nonsense. Come on,
Montana.
I never in my life would I think they'd be more physical than us.
Yeah, Roger Craig tiptoeing through the layers,
pansy ass. It drives me crazy.
No, but they're for real, man. He's got those dudes wide open, fullbacks and two tight ends and all kinds of shit.
I didn't think he could. Obviously,
I think he learned from his mistake on the biggest stage and moved on.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't think he'd have the ability to run a team. Obviously, he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that natural leadership ability, but you can't tell with some guys unless you're around them.
Yeah. I'm all Falcons, but I can't help but root for Houston. I love Deshaun Watson. I love everything about him, man. The way he plays the game, leadership. He's 23 years old? Mm-hmm. What he did at Clemson. I mean, he's the real freaking deal. And then I like Bill O'Brien. I want to see him do well.
That's why I want Bill O'Brien. You know him well. He's a product of George O'Leary and that whole bunch who were like physical and wide open. And here we come.
Yeah.
So that's great. And, it's a shame what's going on with Tech now. Jeff Collins has got them on the move. We're playing American football, which is very important. And because kids want to play American football, and they want to practice against American football. They don't want to all that Amsterdam nonsense, whatever we were playing. And Jeff's got it going on. However, he's got the three of us playing for him. He's got no players.
Yeah,
There's no players whatsoever. So, and of course, our jerky ass newspaper, they never take a shot at anybody, but they'll insinuate, talking like, "Oh, Tech didn't cover again." Come on, God, can we grow up around here, please? Can we go about this thing to win games?
You know what's interesting about Georgia this weekend playing South Carolina? They're going to fire Muschamp at the end of the year. He's Kirby's best friend.
Yeah.
He's going to come back here. He's going to be the next defensive coordinator at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind. It'd be a perfect job for him. Perfect job.
I'll tell you what, Carolina's going to be a little dangerous this week because they were off last week. Oh. Muschamp gets them all pumped up. I mean, he's always had physical football teams. I don't know what's wrong with Billy Muschamp because I would tab him as a successful college coach.
Right.
And it just hasn't happened.
It's been a mess up there. Spurrier's last few years, they had when they had Clowney and Garcia and some of those guys. What was the wide receiver? Alshon Jeffrey, remember? I mean, they had some good ball players.
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram, when Spurrier was there, and then it just flipped, just like that, man.
Yeah.
And they have not had anything worthwhile since then.
No. But, that's kind of, again, leadership. You get a leader in there and you get a guy who's like really rallying around the program, you can get things done.
But, man, you're talking about coming off the heels of Lou Holtz and Steve Spurrier. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's...
Yeah, no, I know.
Those are big shoes to fill, but he's coming up short.
There's been enough time in between where you do have a little grace period to get your thing started.
What do you think about Georgia's play calling this year on offense? You like it? You okay with?
You know what I think it is, Tiny? I think it's subdued for a reason. I think
they're laying in the weeds.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
we'll see.
I'll tell you what.
It's curious though, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's been obviously curious in an obvious way, and that is.
Are we at that point now? We're saving stuff for Alabama.
We're saving it for Florida first because we've got South Carolina, Kentucky week off, then Florida.
Yeah, Florida's got a lot of momentum right now.
Florida's got
they're 2 touchdown underdogs this week on the road at LSU.
You know what? That's wrong. LSU's good and LSU's formidable.
I think it's 13.5.
But they're not 2 TD favorites.
You don't think so? So you like Florida? You like what this new quarterback's doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank God that kid got hurt. Forgive me, Lord. but thank God for Gator fans everywhere that kid got hurt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's been talking about Felipe Franks. Yeah, he's been a problem since he got
always.
there.
I don't know how he got to this point because he's been like this ever since his sophomore year.
Who does Tennessee have this weekend? Somebody that's going to kick their ass. Oh, Texas A&M, I think. So would they lose that? They're going to be 1-6, 1-5, I think, 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't know what's going to happen up there.
They say there's no sign of anything, any improvement, anything turning around. I mean, they competed against Georgia in that first half, but.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. I mean, everybody competes against Georgia in the first half. Georgia coming in is like Notre Dame coming in. In other words, Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Those are all teams that no matter who you're playing.
Man, Texas, Oklahoma this week.
Texas, Oklahoma this week.
Yeah, LSU, Florida this week. There's one other big one in there. I can't remember. I think Wisconsin plays somebody pretty decent. Or maybe it's Michigan or Penn State. I can't. There's a big Big Ten game. But I'm going up to Road Atlanta on Saturday. Up there for the Petite Le Mans, man. It's an annual tradition. Go up there and ride around the golf cart. Put the earplugs in. It's loud.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and you can't talk to anybody.
I used to be up there quite frequently.
It's pretty cool.
There and down in Hampton, Atlanta Speedway.
Yeah.
That was when motorsports had some cachet.
This place, especially with the weather being nice like
Well,
this,
you know, but
it'll be packed
they're all
up there.
sports car enthusiasts,
Right.
You know, up there, and that's the kind of like a convening.
But that's, it's one of the most, and NASCAR bought it. So NASCAR owns Road Atlanta now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't run NASCARs on
Right,
it. I mean,
right,
I think
of
maybe
course.
they have, not in the
Well, they
circuit.
might use it as the one like Watkins Glen. It's the one road race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that. And but anyway, when the weather's nice like this, they have a huge turnout
I'll
up
bet.
there, and it's cool. You can walk down the day
Yeah.
before and check out the cars, and they got all different classes and divisions and stuff.
You and Sarah and Emmy Lou going?
Yeah, we're gonna take the. No, Emmy Lou can't handle that. Plus, she's sick. She's not feeling good. Boy.
Just couldn't handle the noise. You mean is that?
No, not the noise. No, these people go to Road Atlanta and they camp out for the week.
I know.
They stay there for the week
I know.
and get out there in the woods and do God knows what. What do you do in the woods in a motor car sport? If it have an open house?
Not hibernate. I'll tell you that.
I remember I was walking through and you just hear this woo, woo
Well,
in the broad daylight.
oh,
So that's what I'm doing. I'll be watching college football on Saturday and trying to think if there's any. Oh, the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know if you know this. But it's a very popular podcast. He just had a Evander Holyfield on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had Champ on there for like an hour and 15 minutes. It's a great interview. I'll send it to you just to hear him, loosen up and talk about his training.
You know what? We want to talk to him. We want to. If I sent Uber for Arthur, you think Arthur would come here and be on the show? I don't see why not.
Probably not. What does that have to do
Probably
with Evander
not.
Holyfield?
No, I'm talking about luminaries. I'm talking about celebrities that we should have a guest each week. Who's I could pick his brains, you could pick his pocket.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, what's that? Ping, and you could hear it hit the floor, right? Because it's heavy. And I would just grab it and run off with it.
Arthur, I'm sorry. Apologies. I've known him for years. He's never done anything like this.
So when you're in a complete rebuild like the Falcons are, I think you're at the worst possible point of a complete rebuild.
When did we say we're in a rebuild?
I'm saying.
It's obvious we're going to have to be.
That's what I'm saying.
But not complete rebuild. Just a coach. Just a leader.
I don't think so. We don't have any talent, Bo.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
But we don't
yes,
have any
we
talent.
do. Yes, we do.
Who is talented on this team?
Who? What do you mean who's talented? The entire roster is talented.
Oh!
Let me ask you.
Oh, the entire roster.
Let me ask you a question, Demetrius. If we go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl in 2016, which we did, except for the score. 2017, we go in the tank. 18, we go in the. Wait. So where's the rebuild? What Super Bowl players have we lost? Who's gone away?
Everybody.
Everybody.
How do you not see this?
Everybody?
Yes.
Who's everybody?
We've got a completely new offensive line. We don't have a fullback.
We augmented the offensive line, which we needed to do. We don't have a fullback because we don't run a fullback. Antonio, what's his name? DeAndre Freeman. Is it
Devontae.
Devontae Freeman is first of all he can't get the daylight because there is no daylight.
Right.
The offensive line is but this all comes back to coaching. Offensive line is the easiest position to coach and to motivate, and you got the smartest players on the team. You got you can get them going, but people don't realize that Dan has got 4 assistant coaches who were former head coaches. The front office has got 5 former general managers. Who's running the ship? Nobody's running the ship. That's why you've got this hodgepodge of stuff. Everybody's trying to do things behind everybody's back and get Arthur's attention. Maybe he'll throw a little something extra in his envelope this week. Everyone's because there's no leader there. You can't do anything in the football business without a leader.
No.
It's like you couldn't win a battle, you couldn't win a war without a leader.
Bo, I'm over the whole thing.
What does that mean?
It means I'm over the whole thing.
So now
I want a
so what are
clean
you saying?
start.
So all right, so you're going.
You wouldn't let me finish earlier. You went on your thing about
You're going to
coaches.
turn your attention to soccer. That'd be great for you.
I'm going to liquidate my assets. I am going to trade
Be
everybody.
very careful.
I'm going to trade everybody, and I'm going to start over. That's it. That's the only way you get this thing turned around. That's it.
Nope.
That's it.
No, you sound like Quinn's conscience. In other words, throwing out something. Well, our outfit, we've had injuries, and you know.
What? I just said we need to get rid of everybody. That's it. Nobody's safe.
Everybody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Everybody's safe. I could come in there right now and turn that thing around.
Well, would you please? The rest of us are waiting for something. And who knew that you were the missing link? Are you the missing link?
My father wouldn't talk to me.
How about the Nats, man? You knew once the Braves were beaten, you knew Washington was going to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
And win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you beat the Yankees, but that's another argument for another day.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the Dodgers are not there.
Love it. Love it.
I don't.
What do you mean you don't?
Because I like.
What's wrong with baseball? So you know, I'd spend $350 million. Give me that guy.
I like the Dodgers because they're a professional organization. They know what they are. They know they're a baseball team. They're not trying to be anything other than that. And if they have the resources to go and acquire, that's what it's all about. I mean, we have resources, but we don't have the inclination to do.
We're not there
what
yet.
the Dodgers-
We're there now. We needed this year to figure out.
Definitely. It's next year.
Yeah, it was always next year.
Even like I was talking about with Snit. He needed that. You know, Snit's saying to himself today, I should have pulled the kid. I should have pulled him. But, you know, you're pulling a kid. You're pulling your starter, Game 5 starter, must-win game. You're pulling him in the top of the first.
Man, you know
that takes some phenomenals, which he didn't have.
Yeah, Keuchel.
Keuchel's
he never worked out. It just never worked out.
You know, the problem is his beard makes him look too much like a rabbi.
I can't
That's
deal
a
with
bad
anybody.
beard.
It's an awful beard. I can't respect somebody that walks around like that. That keeps that thing manicured for like purposefully. Like, this is what I want to look like. It's like ZZ Top almost.
You know, hey, Kike, how about you manscape your face? All right, come on. For your fans, please.
So he'll be gone. McCann's gone. I think they bring back Donaldson.
Yeah.
You know, you got the bullpen figured out, though, I think. What do you do with Newcomb? I mean, Newcomb, to my surprise, pitched great in the playoffs.
All of a sudden, he came alive.
Right.
Yeah. When I
I'd
saw
give him
him
a shot to
warming
make
up,
the rotation.
when I saw him warming up the other night, there was a situation where it was not Game 5, but we were in the game. I said, oh, God. You know, it's like we've still got X amount of guys like, oh, it's just like faulty. You know, when that was going on, oh. You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his modus operandi. That's his whole deal.
How about when Tehran came in the Game 4?
I felt sorry.
It was over.
I felt sorry.
You know, it is a blue double down the line, whatever, but you just knew it.
Right.
You knew he wasn't going to get out of that inning.
No.
Think about that ball that freaking Molina hit. And Freddie I don't know if he took a step in or what. I mean, but right there, man. And here's the thing about the Braves. This is what I was telling everybody. You knew that middle of the lineup wasn't going to keep doing this forever. You knew they were going to start clicking any moment. And we saw early in the year when those guys are hitting with Acuna and Albies, that team's unbeatable. And you knew it was coming.
Well, you know,
just couldn't get that
like
last.
you said, this series wasn't for naught. We've gotten a lot out of it, a lot of experience, and including Snit. Like I said, a lot of experience. You're in a must-win game. It doesn't make any difference what anybody thinks. You yanked the kid.
He'll never do that.
Then he can't be manager.
He can't be manager. I told you going into this that's what concerned me.
Well,
but I don't think this team wins 97 games during the regular season with another manager. This is Bobby Cox 101. It's the same shit. when you're playing against the best competition, you've got to do the little things to win the game
Right.
and separate. You
Right.
can't do it.
See, that's a good point because we talked about it all year, and it came home to roost. All the little mistakes, all the little faux pas,
Right, that's exactly what it is.
all came to roost. Under pressure in the big game.
Right.
That's all of that stuff that was going on all year that we never paid attention to and just took for granted.
And look at who had the
Came back
best
to kill
series.
us.
The kids. Acuna, Albies, and
Yeah,
Swanson.
yeah. Well,
They don't know any better.
That's the essence of our team.
Yeah.
It's really not Freddie. It's those guys.
Yeah. Well, why don't you get a manager that identifies with those guys?
Well,
A guy who retaliates and hits the freaking picture the next inning after he beams Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think most managers would respond in that situation, but Snicker didn't for whatever reason.
Right.
At that point, Newcomb's got to go rogue.
We're
right?
gentlemen. We're gentlemen.
Well, doesn't Newcomb have to go rogue there? I mean, that's you
Of
just
course,
do it.
of
Especially
course.
the pitchers due up next inning.
Of course.
When else are you going to get an opportunity? That was sickening.
You could put Graham's atomic bomb in his jock, but that's after the fact.
All right.
You know
Boy,
what
that's
that-
something. It just goes and goes and goes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes of that, and you can't. It's tough. And don't touch your eyes.
No.
Don't touch your eyes.
No. Oh, God.
So that's really all I got, Bo. I've really enjoyed our time together. I'm going to get on the highway here and start heading back to town.
Oh, hey.
Hey! Okay!
October 20th, the Rams game, Falcons-Rams.
Yeah.
The Alabama State Mighty Marching Hornets are going to play at halftime. That's beautiful. They should have all of those historically black colleges come in there and do a halftime. I mean, what's a football game without a band?
I agree.
What's up, and especially, like, that's not a band. That's like a Broadway performance.
Right.
Those they're beautiful to watch.
They're
great, and get everybody pumped up, get everybody hyped up. Of course, they won't be going to get the $1.50 hot dog.
Right. That's why I'm surprised he booked them.
True.
Yeah. Probably,
He's gonna have
never happen
branded.
again.
Carry him. $1.50 hot dog. Hot dog here. $1.50 hot dog.
No more of the good marching band. Next week, I want monkeys on tricycles. You ever seen that with Shaq and those guys?
Yeah.
When they're sitting there, he goes, man, I hadn't seen that. They're talking, fighting, whatever, and all of a sudden they pan over to this halftime show. And it's going on in the background while Ernie's talking on the big thing, and Barkley takes it and he looks back. He goes, man, y'all ain't going to say nothing. That's a monkey riding a tricycle. He goes, they've been up there for 10 minutes. Y'all act like you've seen that before. Barkley's the best, man. He's the best. I can't wait for those guys to come back. That's right around the corner.
How about Shaq, huh? Is he a mogul?
He's in everything. Think about the Papa John's deal. He's perfect for that.
He's got like 30 franchises, plus they put him on the board.
Right.
And, it's you're right.
Right.
It's perfect.
He's the only guy that could have done the job.
Yeah. Why is he so good in all those commercials? Why does he do so many commercials? Why him and not Charles? Is it Charles is tougher to understand?
Charles
you
is
think?
drunk.
Charles rocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's his deal, man. He gets done with this show and he goes out.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
You
Hey, babe.
ever seen a monkey on a tricycle?
He's so damn funny, man. Did you see where one of my favorite ones from last year? They showed the box score of the Lakers game. And the Lakers got drilled. This was back when they stunk last year. And at the bottom, it said Lonzo Ball, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, so-and-so had a big night, whatever. He goes, yeah, Lonzo Ball. And Charles Barkley goes, yeah, he had a triple single. Yeah, triple single. And Shaq just loses it at the other end. I can't wait for those guys to come back. 2 weeks.
I know.
2 weeks. Watching these preseason games, I forget all these moves, man. You got Westbrook with Harden back in Houston. You got Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I know.
in Miami.
The Westbrook thing. That boy makes them formidable.
Right. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
If those two can power up and just sink and play somehow, some way.
I'm really optimistic about them because of what went down, the fact that they're coming together. You figure they sorted this all out,
There's a lot of basketballs to go around. It's a lot of shots.
Well, that's the problem.
I mean, it's
There's not a lot of shots to go around. You got to hope there's a lot of shots to go around.
right.
Because James is going to take them all.
Yeah, I mean, you got some great role players on there.
Westbrook will push the pace. He'll get them out on the break. Nobody finishes as well as he does.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be really tough to beat.
Yeah, the East sucks again now. It does. It stinks. Just like that. Everybody went out west. And now you got Denver, you got Utah.
You got the Pelicans for crying out loud.
Right, exactly. Exactly. The Nuggets. Nuggets won 60 games last year.
Yeah.
Rockets.
Right.
Lakers.
Right.
Trailblazers.
Clippers.
Clippers are the favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the East, you got Toronto without Boston.
Yeah. You got New York
Without Horford.
without a riot. You got Boston with
I mean, seriously, you've got nobody.
common sense.
You got no good
you're
teams
right.
in the East.
You're right.
You got nothing.
You're right.
That's terrible. It's going to be interesting, if it's right for the picking. Oh, Philly. I'm sorry. Philly's probably the best team in the East now.
Philly's
I'm
not-
with you, though.
Philly's not a factor.
Simmons. You don't like
No,
Simmons? I'm with
he's
you.
not a winner. But they're not a factor. They're all everything but a factor.
Yeah. Probably
I think-
Toronto and Philly are the two best teams in the East.
Yeah, they've got to be. That's all I've got. I mean, you
Thank
discuss.
God.
You discuss.
Hey,
you
go see
discuss-
Jessica, Courtney, Samantha.
We were supposed to have a little girlfriend come today for Junjing.
Oh, we were?
Yeah. She wanted to get in the radio business and working in the coffee store, and I said, "Well, come meet Junjing."
Yeah, that's how he started, was with
That's how
coffee.
It started. It started with the coffee that's how
Hurts.
that's how it got to where we are right now.
Kind of brands it.
Yeah. We'll see everybody.